Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole and today I want to talk about how to prioritize spending when you're finally in your new home. So we've been in a couple months now and everything's been really exciting and things are coming together. There's still a lot of things going on that are just not where I want them and they're not perfect, they're not set, they're not ready, or maybe there's just honestly nothing in them at all. I do have still quite a few empty rooms and I do think it's going to be like that for a while. I do want to get into why, but if you are looking at maybe you're moving soon, maybe you've just moved in, you're looking around and you're just not sure where to start. It's hard because you want so many things. This is my approach. This is how I'm taking things kind of one step at a time of how I'm going to prioritize spending to make sure that the house does become really the home that I want. If that sounds good to you, go ahead, give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go on in. So this is more about furniture, decorating, decor, all of that. Obviously, you're going to need things like if your home needs a generator, if you need a different lawnmower, kind of those essentials. Those are things you need to get first. Those aren't quite what I'm going over here, so just keep in mind that you do need to make a list of those true essentials that you need. Get those checked off first. Now we're really moving into that kind of decor, furniture, all of that. So one of my main issues is that, first of all, want everything all at once, right? We want our home to be set. We don't like this waiting period, or at least, again, speaking for myself, this waiting period is kind of blah. You want everything to just look the way that you've envisioned it, and it's so hard to have to wait to get it all put together, but I do honestly believe it is the best way and it will be worth it. A lot of the times it's something like maybe you have completely changed your taste. So everything I had previously was very dark, very heavy, very chunky, and I am complete 180 on the opposite side now. I like these light woods. I like this brightness, this airiness. I don't like when things are so matchy. So that's completely different from my past style. Sometimes you want to participate in some of the new trends and you want to get some of those pieces coming in because they're fun and you enjoy them. Or again, picking on myself a little bit, maybe you just didn't have a style and now that you do, and you're realizing that things just don't fit, they don't work together, they don't have that kind of conversation and flow that really make it look like you put thought and intent and purpose behind these decisions, so it's not so sporadic looking, if that makes sense. I did a lot of blues and blacks and kind of these harsher kind of variations of these colors, and now I like a more muted color palette, bringing a lot more warmth and browns into the mix. Lots and lots of changes, and again, it's just you want it all to be done now, and that's just not the reality that most of us really truly live in. So first things first, I know I've said this a million times in other videos, you have to start with your budget. You have to know what you're working with. Having that idea of what you can truly stand to spend is going to help with some of these decisions. Sometimes we want these big ideas and we want them to come together, but that budget can help keep us in check a little bit, especially as we start adding more and as you get more into decorating and wanting all of the little things, wanting a lot of the higher quality pieces. It can really help you understand where your money needs to go. So always, budget comes before everything else. After that, you need to take stock of what you want versus what you need. And this is a hard conversation because it can be difficult to be honest with yourself about what is more of a want, what is something that you have been dying to get your hands on and you know is going to help pull the room together, but it's not really something that you need right away. And again, when we're looking at our budget and we're looking at these true priorities, we have to have that very real conversation with ourselves about what it is that we need now versus what can kind of be saved for later. So how do you pick those needs? First of all, you want to make sure you have your staple items. Things like somewhere to sit. Maybe it's that couch, maybe you're starting with chairs, whatever it is, you're going to need somewhere to sit down at some point. That's also going to include for eating, so whether that's dining room, whether that's stools at the kitchen counter, you're going to need somewhere to sit down. You're also going to want to make sure you have things in your bedroom. At a minimum, it needs to be a mattress, right? But maybe that's the bed set. Maybe you do have your heart set on a particular bed set that's not in budget yet. Again, start a little bit lower than that. Get the mattress. We know we need somewhere to sleep. Lighting. We need to make sure that we can see what we're doing. It gets dark earlier than you think sometimes, and a lot of these bedrooms don't come with an overhead light fixture. Maybe you got that ceiling fan pre-wire, but until you can get those light fixtures, we want to make sure that there is a lamp, something that you can plug into the wall so that you do have, again, those staple necessities right from the get-go. You'll want to think about what rooms really need to be done first. Now for me, that's going to be the kitchen. You have to make sure that you are able to eat, to cook, all of that. You want to make sure that there's something in the living area, so whether that is your couch, your chairs, whatever that is, and then also the bedroom. So those are kind of my three main priorities. Now obviously the office is also something that if you are working from home, you want to make sure that you have some of those staple pieces as well. So whether that's your desk, your chair, your monitors, all of that. So now that we know what rooms are essential, then we have the other rooms. So that's going to be things like our basement, which is going to be an entertaining area. We have things like the loft upstairs where it's going to be a little bit of a reading area. And then we have the guest rooms. Now, how do we prioritize these things that aren't quite the essentials, but we need to have some order to the next step? For us, we knew we were entertaining pretty soon after we moved in. So that meant that we had to have some form of a guest room ready. Now I'll say ready. It was kind of a loose term here. So I don't have the rooms completely set. We just kind of needed, again, those essentials. So we had to make sure that there was the mattress and all of the bedding. I had to make sure there was a nightstand or something you can use as a nightstand, somewhere for your guests to kind of corral all of their items. And then again, a light source. So I do want to get a really nice overhead light in those rooms eventually, but we're just not there yet. So I did end up picking up some smaller lamps from Target while I was out getting some of the bedding. And it is something that will work with the room for how I envision it for later, but it's also a much quicker and cheaper option that is going to get that same effective result that we need to just make sure somebody is comfortable when they are staying. A room I'm really looking forward to designing is that loft space, that reading room, but to be completely honest, it's just not high on my priority list as much as I want to start getting everything pulled together. It's not something that's as necessary. It's not something that is in an area of the home that a lot of people will see. Obviously, your home is for you, so always keep that in mind, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But it's not an area that is going to need as much attention up front as much as I want it to be put together. Something else that can be helpful is thinking about what items do you already have that can be repurposed. So I know that I've talked about how my taste has changed. If you have pieces that are high quality that maybe just need a coat of paint, maybe you just need to switch out some hardware, these are things that you can reuse. It gives you a little bit of a DIY fun project, and that way you are saving some money just to make sure that you're not having to spend everything on brand new furniture when you do have something that can work and maybe just needs a little bit of love. This is something like the sideboard that I refinished. I've also redone the dining chairs. I'm working on our dressers, all of our old bed sets. I am going to either reupholster or refinish in some capacity. The dresser that I have my eye on and heart set on, I don't remember exactly how much it is, but it is over $2,000, and that's just for the one dresser, and we would need two. So it is much more economical, I'll say, for me to refinish the dressers that we do have, even though when it comes to something like the sideboard project that I talked about, it did end up being more expensive than I thought going in, but it's still much cheaper than buying a brand new piece. Talked a little bit about light fixtures, and this was something that I really feel pulls a room together. You know how much I was excited for this light right above me, the IKEA Cinderleg, I believe is how you say it. But that was something that meant a lot to me, and I really could not wait to get that started. Now that makes sense for in here because there is no overhead light otherwise. So I know that in my office, I was going to need some type of light fixture, some type of lighting element. Now, our bathrooms, and pretty much all of the bathrooms, have those builder grade lighting above the mirrors. You know, the mirrors aren't what I want. There's a lot of elements like that that I can switch out eventually, and I fully plan to. But in the meantime, you need to think about what is already there that you can use that maybe you don't need to change out right away. So even though I do want those, beautiful matte black fixtures, maybe I don't want that kind of just big chunk of mirror and want something a little bit more elegant and elevated. There's already a light fixture, there's already a mirror. So that helps me know that I can bump those down the list quite a bit and get those items that are completely missing from the home first. Something else, so it is Prime Day today and tomorrow and maybe the next day, I don't know. But we keep getting these advertisements, and if you follow other people on YouTube, I'm sure you're seeing them post on all of their Amazon storefronts, and they have these beautiful pieces, sometimes the smaller decor pieces, and we can get really caught up in wanting to catch those deals and get these smaller items. But if we don't have somewhere to put them, Again, just you gotta really have that honest conversation with yourself, think things through. It's not going to be worth, in my opinion, getting those smaller items to use to decorate without having the main staple piece that needs to be decorated. I feel like this is a little bit all over the place. I was really trying to figure out how to organize all of this, and I couldn't think of a great way. So sorry for throwing that all out at you. I do hope it had some sort of flow. But to wrap up, I just want to kind of have some reminders for you that, again, these are things that I have to keep telling myself, and I do hope they'll help you. Number one, budget. Of course, you knew it was coming back again. Number two, it is okay to have empty rooms. Again, that loft space breaks my heart every time I walk by it. I do see it at the top of the stairs when we go into the bedroom or coming back downstairs, and I know what I want it to look like, and I'm so excited for it. Same with the we have a little sitting area in our bedroom as well, and they're empty. And you know what? That's okay. They will get there eventually, and I would much rather wait and get the things that I truly want than get something that's kind of a placeholder. Which brings me to the point number three. Cheaper now can be more expensive in the long run. So like I just said, I personally think it's better to hold out for that thing that you really, really want rather than buying that kind of, we talk about fast fashion a lot. Furniture is kind of the same. You can have these kind of fast furniture items that maybe don't hold up well, that you know you're going to have to replace. So spending your money on these items when it's okay to just not have something there, it's just something that I feel I need to keep in mind, and I'm hoping that will help you too. Also keep in mind that you are your biggest critic here. If you're worried about, what a guest will think or what somebody coming over is going to have to say about it, you are the one who lives there. You're the one who has to live with everything. So just keep in mind, first of all, your guests probably don't really care that much. They understand that you are working on things and it's fine. Second, you're the one you need to impress. You're the one who matters in the situation. So I don't want, and I know I've felt this in the past, but I just don't want you to ever feel like you have to put something together to impress somebody else or to do something that you feel is expected of you rather than because it's what you really want to do. It's your home. Make sure that it is completely and truly what you want. And finally, you're not on a clock. Take your time. This is something that you don't have to rush to put it all together. It will come together in time. When you really work on curating those pieces, it also kind of helps to remove that cookie cutter type home. Something I do want to talk about is how to give a new build home like this kind of a soul, a little bit more of a customized feel. And part of that is going to be the items that you choose to put in. It will definitely be worth the wait to really pick those pieces that speak to you rather than buying something because you feel like you need to have it. Start with the essentials, then move towards those kind of non-essentials, but also don't forget to have some fun along the way. I do hope that you are finding pieces that you love, that get you excited, that make you happy, and are really truly enjoying the process. So that is it for this week. I do hope that you found something helpful. Again, it was maybe a little bit messier than what I normally like to do, but I do hope that you found something valuable here. Please be sure to stick around if you did. Other than that, I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until next time, bye.